Hey everyone, look, I can smile again. The numbness has faded. I have functional capacity in my face. I can flare my nostrils again, which is amazing because I like being able to do that. Very thankful for the dentist, so very thankful for the numbing agent because it would not be fun without it. Very thankful. So I am going to just share this quickly, and I have an awesome tool for my people who experience anxiety. They have a really, really cool tool for you. Funny little story and then a cool tool because I like to roll like that. Okay, let's see. This needs to pop up so I can share it. Hope you guys are all doing well tonight. It's a beautiful evening. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Share. Okay. Okay. So, just a quick backstory before I get to the funny part of the story. For those of you who don't know, although many of you probably do, I suffered from anxiety for many years, like crippling anxiety, anxiety attacks that were horrific, to the point where I probably went to the ER a good 10 times over like a 10-year period, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it was because I was afraid I was having a heart attack, because the panic attack symptoms, as if you experience them, you know, they can mimic a heart attack. And my dad died from a heart attack unexpectedly, so that, like, you know, added to the whole loop. So I've had stress tests done because I was so convinced that it was my heart, and it never was. My heart is perfectly fine. I've been on all different kinds of medication, you know, like the daily kind, and then also for in the moment, like when the adrenaline really hits, and nothing ever stopped it until I figured out what really worked for me, which is what I teach in my Fierce Lady's Guide to Overcoming Anxiety course. And it has helped multiple clients of mine. I am no longer on medicine. Not that I'm not knocking it. Everybody has a thing that they need. And if some people need pharmaceuticals and it helps them access tools to really control the anxiety, I'm all for it. It wasn't personally something that worked for me. The pharmaceutical route was not for me. So I just wanted to preface this by saying I really understand how horrific and underwater it can feel when the anxiety has a hold of you. It's a horrible fucking existence to live. It really is. It just controls every aspect of your life, every aspect of your decision making. It's a horrible fucking thing. So I really get it. So today I was at the dentist, and if you want to see what I looked like half numb, you can go check out my timeline from a little earlier today. I did a live with Olivia showing my lovely half numb face. So I'm in the chair and he has me inverted a little, right? Probably just so he can have like better access, right? Because it was on the top on the side. And I'm doing fine. Like, they take my blood pressure, which can sometimes like freak me out a little, because when I was going through a period a couple of years ago of some really high stress, my blood pressure went up a little, and that would freak me out. It's really helpful, right? Your blood pressure goes up, so you freak out, so it goes up more. It's a fun little cycle. So they took my blood pressure. It was good. And I was like, rock on, because I've been, you know, I work what I preach, right? So I'm like, this is great. And I'm in the chair and I'm inverted, and all of a sudden I felt a little kick of adrenaline. And I was like, it's interesting. I'm not nervous about this. I'm not nervous about paying for it. I'm not nervous about the work that he's doing. All right, whatever. I'm just going to go with it. And so I just kind of sat and experienced it. And hey, Melissa. Hey, John. And I just let it flow through me. Now that, I guess this is another tool. This isn't the tool I was going to talk about, but this is an extra tool. Years past, when I felt the adrenaline go through me, I would seize up. I would tense everything, which of course just makes it a lot worse. So if you are experiencing anxiety and panic attacks, if you start to feel the rush of adrenaline, just let it flow. Hey girl, just let it flow, okay? I know that feels tricky in the moment, but I promise you, the more you resist it, the more it persists. Like, that's a real thing. So let it flow. So I did that, I let it flow. And it was still there. And I started to get, you know, a little lightheaded. And I thought, well, that's interesting. Now, again, in years past, I would have been like, that's it, I'm dying. I am 100% dying. I'm going to die right here in the dentist chair. I'm going to pass out and die. And I didn't do that because I have learned how to control it. I am in control, not the anxiety. So when I recognized that the adrenaline was kicking in a little bit more than I really want, like once it started to get lightheaded, I thought, okay, this is a little more than I really want to experience right now. So this is the tool I want you to have. I said to myself, if I wasn't feeling the adrenaline rush, if I wasn't feeling anxiety, what would I be doing right now? And the first thought that popped in my head was, well, you'd be breathing normally. So I just checked in with my breath and I started breathing normally. And it worked. It went away. Completely went away. Like I said, I'm not on meds. I don't take anything pharmaceutical for that. That stuff never worked for me anyway. And then, you know, you end up feeling like a zombie, right? For a few days after, like if you take Klonopin or something when you're having a panic attack, you feel like crap later. So what, I mean, you know, why have to deal with the exhaustion from the panic attack and then be a zombie? It's just, it's not worth it, to me anyway. So my suggestion to you is, if you're in the moment of that adrenaline hit, to ask yourself, okay, if I wasn't feeling the adrenaline hit, what would I be doing right now? For example, if you're like at a party with friends, the adrenaline hits, everything starts to feel bigger, right? Or maybe that you feel more closed in, but everything sort of expands around you. And so you're not focused on your friends anymore. You're focused on, how can I stop feeling like this? How can I stop feeling like this? And it just makes it worse. It's this horrible spiral that happens. So if you're in that situation, then what would you be doing if you weren't feeling the anxiety? Well, you'd be talking with your friends. Always focus on your breath and keep it normal. And then, oh, I'm so glad. Yes, I'm telling you, it really works. Let me know how it goes, Melissa. Let me know how it goes. So always focus on your breath. That is very helpful. And for me, like, I know that's so key. So that's the first thing that popped in my head. But once you've done that, then check in with what you would be doing differently if you weren't feeling the anxiety, and then do it. And the key here is to understand, to know, to really believe that it might take a few minutes to kick in, but eventually, and not too long, the adrenaline will pass. It will pass. I believe is it 90 seconds? I will check on that and leave a comment. I think it's 90 seconds. Once you feel that adrenaline hit, then it only stays in your body for 90 seconds. And after that, you're just re-injuring yourself. Like, you're re-panicking yourself. So what might help too, look at this live is full of tools. I hope y'all are watching this, because this is awesome. Once it hits, you can also just start to count to 90. And you know, anything you're feeling after that is you're doing it to yourself again. So that's a helpful way to stop it too. So I just want to quickly to talk about some of the benefits, not all of them obviously, but just some of the key benefits that my clients have experienced in going through the Overcoming Anxiety course with me. They no longer feel paralyzed. They feel safe and secure in the moments when the adrenaline does hit, because it will hit, right? We're human. Adrenaline is part of our system. But you will have also fewer and fewer instances like my clients too. So, you know, when they do pop up, they're less frequent, much less frequent, but in that moment you feel safe and secure and in control, because that's really the hardest part, isn't it? When you feel out of control, like you don't know how long it's going to last. You don't know what you're going to do in that moment. It's that out of controlness is horrible. They also, and this is key, and it's something that I did and that I do with my clients, determine their identity as the person who isn't controlled by anxiety anymore, right? And one step of that is to figure out what you would do in that moment if you weren't feeling anxiety. That's just part of it. There's a much bigger area to look at, but figuring out who you would be without it is one of the best things you can do. And then my clients fully embody that version of themselves. So the anxiety is just, it really is a message. It's a message from your soul in a lot of instances. And other times it's just learned, you know, like there might be things going on in your life when the anxiety is your soul speaking to you, like, you need to get the hell out of here, lady. And then because it becomes so practiced, there are other times, like maybe at the dentist, or, you know, I don't know, when you're waiting in big crowds or something, that it's just practiced. And so the adrenaline kicks in. But figuring out how to embody the version of you who isn't controlled by the anxiety and actually living it every day is also something my clients have been able to do. And it's just remarkable. It's such an honor to see them being so free and being fully who they are. And the other key thing is that they stop making rash decisions from the place of anxiety, because those decisions are usually not any good, right? They're fear-based. And they end up feeding back into the anxiety cycle. So lots of good stuff, lots of helpful tools. Please do let me know if you use them and how it goes. And if you have any questions, I'm always happy to help. And I hope you have a lovely evening. Night.